So, what's up everyone? Gorala here. I've been spending a lot of time lately, as I'm sure many of you have, thinking about artificial intelligence. It's not just this abstract, futuristic concept anymore. It's here, right now, and it's quietly, or not so quietly, reshaping our world. It's in our phones, our cars, how we shop, and how businesses operate. But the interesting thing is, this AI revolution isn't happening at the same pace everywhere. Different countries are taking fundamentally different approaches to how they build, regulate, and integrate this powerful new technology into the fabric of their societies. Which brings us to the big question for today. Today, we're comparing how 5 major countries are adopting artificial intelligence. We're going to dive into the numbers, the strategies, and the cultural nuances that are defining this new global competition. It's not just about who has the smartest algorithm or the biggest data set. It's about who is actually putting it to work effectively across their entire economy and society. This isn't just a tech story. It's a story about economics, culture, and the future of global power dynamics. So for this video, we're going to do a quick ranked comparison of AI adaptation rates. We'll look at India, China, Japan, the USA, and France, breaking down their scores, what they're doing right, and the unique challenges they each face. We'll go from number 1 all the way down to number 5. It's a showdown, a global snapshot of who's leading the pack in the AI race and who's trying to catch up. All right, let's get into it. All right, so kicking things off at number 1, with an adoption rate of 59%, we have India. And honestly, this might be a surprise to some people, but when you look closer, it actually makes a lot of sense. India is in this unique position where it has this massive, young, tech-savvy population that is incredibly quick to adopt new technologies. Couple that with major government pushes like the Digital India Initiative, which has been laying the digital groundwork for years, and the AI for all strategy, and you've got the perfect recipe for rapid, widespread adoption. It's a top-down and a bottom-up movement happening at the same time. What's really driving this is the startup ecosystem. It is absolutely exploding. We're seeing young, agile companies integrating AI into pretty much every sector you can imagine. In fintech, AI is personalizing financial services and detecting fraud. In healthcare, it's helping with diagnostics in remote areas. Even in agriculture, a cornerstone of the Indian economy, AI is being used for crop monitoring and yield prediction. This isn't just theoretical stuff in a lab. This is practical, problem-solving AI being deployed at scale to tackle real-world challenges affecting millions of people. The sheer scale of the population means that even small efficiencies created by AI can have a massive impact. But of course, it's not a perfect picture. The biggest hurdle for India is infrastructure, especially outside of the major metropolitan hubs. Bringing the benefits of AI to rural populations is a massive challenge. Consistent internet connectivity, digital literacy, and access to the necessary hardware are all things that need to be addressed to make this AI growth truly inclusive. So while India is leading the pack in adoption right now, closing that urban-rural divide will be the key to maintaining its lead in the long run. It's a fascinating case study of explosive growth meeting legacy challenges. Coming in at a very close second is China, with an AI adoption rate of 50%. Now, China's approach is a completely different playbook compared to India's. This is a story of immense state-driven ambition. The government isn't just encouraging AI, it's mandating it as a national priority. Massive investments are flowing from both the government and a handful of tech giants like Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. This has created a hyper-focused, incredibly well-funded ecosystem designed for one thing, to make China a world leader in AI by 2030, as outlined in their next-generation AI development plan. You can see this deep integration everywhere. In China, AI isn't just an app on your phone. It's part of the infrastructure of daily life. It's in the vast surveillance networks with facial recognition, which is, of course, a huge topic of debate. It's in the hyper-efficient logistics of e-commerce giants, where robots pack and sort goods in massive warehouses. It's a core component of advanced manufacturing and smart cities. The sheer amount of data generated by its population, combined with a more relaxed approach to data privacy, gives Chinese companies a huge advantage in training more powerful and accurate AI models. It's a brute force approach, but it's undeniably effective. However, this aggressive, top-down strategy comes with its own set of significant challenges. The most prominent are the ethical concerns and the intense global scrutiny, particularly around surveillance and data usage. This creates friction in international collaborations and can lead to trust issues with global partners and consumers. The question for China is whether it can balance its ambition for technological supremacy with the growing global demand for ethical guidelines and data privacy. How they navigate this will determine their long-term position in the global AI landscape. All right, moving down the list to number 3, we have Japan, with an AI adoption rate of 34%. Now, Japan's story with AI is deeply intertwined with its long and storied history in robotics and automation. For decades, they've been pioneers in creating machines to do physical tasks, so it's only natural that their AI adoption would lean heavily into that legacy. They aren't necessarily chasing the latest large language model for consumers. They're focused on building smarter robots and more intelligent automated systems to solve very specific, very pressing national problems. The two biggest drivers for AI in Japan are its aging population and its chronic labor shortages. They see AI and automation not as a threat to jobs, but as a necessary solution to keep their economy running. This is why you see such a strong focus on AI in advanced manufacturing, where intelligent robots are working alongside humans to maintain productivity. It's also huge in healthcare, with the development of elder care robots that can assist with daily tasks, provide companionship, and monitor health, which is a pretty unique and fascinating application of the tech. It's a very pragmatic, needs-based approach to AI, but this focus also reveals their biggest challenge, a generally conservative corporate culture. While they excel in hardware and industrial applications, Japanese companies have been slower to adopt cloud computing and software-as-a-service models, which are the bedrock of modern AI deployment. There's a certain resistance to change and a preference for proprietary, on-premise systems that can stifle the kind of rapid, scalable innovation we see elsewhere. So, for Japan to climb higher on this list, it will need to embrace a more agile, software-centric mindset to complement its incredible strength in hardware and robotics. Next up, at number 4, is the USA, with an adoption rate of 33%, just a hair behind Japan. Now this one can feel a bit counterintuitive. How can the country that is, without a doubt, the global leader in AI innovation be fourth on the list for adoption? The US is home to Google, OpenAI, Nvidia, Meta, basically all the foundational companies driving this entire revolution. The most advanced research, the biggest breakthroughs, and the most talent are all concentrated here. It's the undisputed epicenter of AI creation. So, where's the disconnect? It lies in the difference between creating the tech and integrating it universally across the entire economy. While AI is deeply embedded in consumer tech, think social media algorithms, recommendation engines, and digital assistants, its enterprise-wide adoption in more traditional sectors has been surprisingly slow and fragmented. A big part of this is the sheer complexity and diversity of the US economy. Unlike China's top-down push, adoption here is a company-by-company decision, and many legacy businesses are slow to invest in the massive overhaul required to become truly AI-driven. Furthermore, the US is grappling with significant regulatory and data privacy headwinds. Debates around AI ethics, bias, and the use of personal data are front and center, leading to a more cautious approach from many corporations who are wary of potential legal or reputational risks. It's what you might call the innovator's dilemma. The very society that creates the most powerful tools is also the most concerned about their potential misuse. This creates a natural brake on rapid, unchecked adoption, so the US leads in invention, but trails in broad-based implementation. And rounding out our list at number 5, we have France, with an AI adoption rate of 26%. France's position here is really representative of the broader European approach to new technology. It's a story defined by caution, deliberation, and a strong emphasis on regulation. The philosophy here isn't to move fast and break things, it's to move slowly and make sure nothing gets broken. The EU's AI Act, which France has been a key player in shaping, sets a global precedent for comprehensive AI governance. But that same regulatory framework can also slow down the pace of innovation and adoption. AI adoption in France is most prominent in specific, well-established sectors. You see it in the high-tech defense and aerospace industries, like with companies such as Dassault and Airbus. There's also a strong academic and research community, with institutions like INRIA doing foundational work. However, when it comes to broad commercial and consumer applications, the adoption is much more limited compared to the US or Asia. There's a sense that businesses are waiting to see how the regulatory landscape settles before making major investments in AI integration. The primary challenges for France and much of Europe are twofold. First, there's a significant talent gap. There's a struggle to retain top AI talent who are often lured away by higher salaries and more opportunities in the US. Second, the level of venture capital investment in AI startups, while growing, still pales in comparison to the massive war chests available to companies in the US and China. To catch up, France will need to find a way to foster a more dynamic and well-funded startup ecosystem, while navigating the complex regulatory environment it helped create. It's a delicate balancing act. So, there you have it. A quick tour of the global AI landscape. It's pretty clear that this isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. The key insights are pretty stark when you lay them all out. India and China are leading in AI adoption, leveraging their unique strengths, demographics for India, and state-driven investment for China. Meanwhile, the US and Japan are the established tech titans that innovate at the highest level but integrate more slowly due to cultural and regulatory factors. And then you have France, and by extension Europe, taking a much more cautious regulation-first approach, which might put them in a position where they need to speed up just to catch up. Looking ahead, the trends are only going to accelerate. It's not crazy to think that India's adoption could cross 70% in the next couple of years, especially as infrastructure improves. The global AI competition is definitely heating up, and it's going to be a major factor in international relations and economic power for decades to come. This isn't just about who has the best tech. It's about who can deploy it most effectively to solve real problems, boost their economy, and ultimately shape the future for their citizens. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but the first leg of the race is well and truly underway. But that's just my take on the data. The future is unwritten, and any of these countries could make a huge leap forward. So I'm curious to hear what you all think. Which country do you think will lead the AI future? Is there another country we should have put on this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. It's always great to see the discussion there. Anyway, that's been it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.